And this guy hammered it first cast. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Lone Wolf 902. Today's video is kind of a strange one. I came out here last minute. We start from the beginning. So I got up this morning and it was downpouring like crazy at home. Absolutely nuts for rain. So right off the bat, I didn't know where I wanted to go and I didn't know what kind of camp I wanted to do, and it just, as you can see, I'm set up for rain. I went ahead and brought my mesh inner tent and my gigantic tarp. This is a 10 by 13, and I wanted to be in the open because it is getting warmer. As you can see, I took my sweater off, changed into my sneakers. It's getting warmer and the bugs are out like crazy still. So I got 2 mosquito coils going right now on top of rocks, watching those very carefully. So yeah, I got up this morning and I saw the rain and I knew right off the bat that I wanted to come out and do a little bit of fishing and I wanted to be on the water. Well, pretty close to being on the water. I think there's, I don't know, 15 feet back there. I got my fishing kit, like I said. I am in the truck. I got the truck directly behind the tent, which I don't usually like doing, and that's why this is kind of a strange video. I've been driving for probably about 2 hours now, trying to look for a location. And with the rain, it's been very, very windy, and all of the lake areas that I go to are all facing towards the camera. The wind's coming this way. This spot is facing that way, which means right behind the camera, I've got a wall of trees blocking that wind. Now, there is still a little bit of wind circulating through that might kind of affect the audio, but I think for the most part, I'll be able to film around that. But the other areas were just getting bombarded with wind, so I was in one spot, out, back to the other, back, all over the place. So anyways, I found this location. I do have the truck right behind the tent. There is a little road kind of turn in. We're at Backcountry Lake, so these lakes are open to the public. So if someone did want to come down this road and go fishing, I can't block that road, okay? So I had to back the truck in close to the tent and kind of lock off this little area. So this is mine for tonight. No one can come in here. So that's what we're doing. We're tent, tarp, all set up. You guys already know what time it is. It is coffee time. So I really desperately need a coffee. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Like I said, I've been driving for a few hours. So I want to go ahead, and I think I'm going to use my alcohol stove. I did also bring my canister stove, which I believe is in my backpack. But go ahead and spark up the alcohol stove, get it set up on the table, and I'll probably do a double shot of mocha pot and maybe a snack. And then I really do want to check out the fishing in the water. And no fire tonight, I should mention that. No fire. We're not allowed having fires right now in Nova Scotia, which kind of sucks because there's literally a fire pit about 10 feet in front of my hammock, and it would be absolutely epic to have a fire right here, but we're not allowed having fires. So I'm not going to have an open fire tonight, it's kind of hot for that anyways, so, which is the reason why I brought the big tent, so I can kind of lounge inside away from the bugs, watch a movie on my phone, do my stuff when I say goodnight to you guys, and yeah. But enough yakking. Coffee, I need to get this on. I did bring some water, which obviously I didn't need to, but let's get this rocking. All right, guys, coffee is done, and well, I messed up. I said I was gonna do the mocha pot, and as soon as I started making the coffee, I realized I messed up. We'll do mocha pot in the morning. So right now, regular coffee. I gotta get my bug jacket on. These bugs, they're not as bad as they have been the past week, but they're still kind of irritating. Right now, being on the edge of the lake is actually helping a little bit because there is that little breeze coming through, and I do have bug spray on, and I do have 2 mosquito coils going, but the beginning of spring is always really bad, and then once we get into more of summer, the black flies anyways, they seem to kind of buzz off, and the mosquitoes, they kind of take over, but the mosquitoes aren't, they're bad, but they're not as bad as the little black flies. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my goofy looking bug jacket once again, and hopefully this will help a little bit. And if not, I'd hate to have to put my sweater on because it's too warm out for that right now, but I mean, if I got to, I will. So I'm gonna chill out for a little bit with my coffee and enjoy that, and I'm gonna have a little snack. I'd probably leave it undone for now. I look good, don't I? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do a snack and coffee, and I'm gonna relax for a minute, and then I'm gonna get out my fishing gear, and I'm gonna head just over there and toss a line out a couple times and see what's in there, and if anything bites, awesome. If not, I tried. And I was gonna bring the kayak, actually. I was thinking about bringing the boat, and just the amount of rain that was coming down before I left home was torrential. So I didn't bring it, but now I'm kind of wishing I did. But we'll save the kayak for maybe a next trip or closer to summer when we can actually get out and enjoy some sunsets on the water. So snack time, coffee time. I'll check in with you guys when I'm all finished up here. I was gonna say when I'm all after, but that doesn't make sense. I'll check in with you guys when I'm all done. All right, guys, coffee's all done. It was really, really good. And I actually ducked inside of the tent and sat down in there for a little while because the bugs were starting to get a little bad. Just getting my fishing gear ready right now. I do have 2 fishing rods with me, and I'm gonna set one up with a spinner, and I'm gonna set the other up with a float. And I'm gonna kind of float 2 power bait worms and a little bit of trout dough. I'm going to let that float and sink down about 12 inches, and I'm going to, just looking out on the water right now, I thought I saw something jump. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a spinner on this rod, and on the other, I'm going to run that float system with a little bit of power bait to see, because these lakes do have perch, trout, and bass in them. So I'm after the trout, and I'd really like to get one. So if it all works out. All right, guys, so I did just have a little nibble. As it was coming in, something came up. I seen it come up, snapped it, didn't get it, but we're gonna try again and see what it is and if we can get it. All right, guys, so I found out what that little fish was. Tiny yellow perch. So let's go ahead and get this guy back into the water. It looks like there's plenty of perch in here, and there's supposed to be bass and trout as well, but this guy, really small. Let's get him back in the water and let's see if we can hammer into some bigger ones. Got another little yellow perch. Oh. Get him back in the water. Seems to be a lot of little yellow perch in this area. So I might switch up the lure to something a little bit bigger to kind of weed out the smaller fish. But for now, keep tossing in and see what we come up with. All right, so I've been out here fishing for probably half hour, 40 minutes. And so far I've only had luck with small perch on that really small spinner that I was using. I've gone ahead and switched to a white grub, a little curly tail soft bait, just to hopefully get into maybe some bass or some larger fish. First cast, nothing. I'm gonna roll this for probably, I don't know, another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, see if I have any luck on that. And then I'm gonna switch to a soft bait shad, about a 3-inch shad. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it. I wanna try that and see if that works. So it's gonna be a little bit of testing, a little bit of trial and error, probably mostly error, knowing my luck, but I'm still gonna try. All right, guys, check this out. This is pretty cool. So another perch, they're getting bigger. I just switched up to this chartreuse spinner with a treble hook, and this guy hammered it first cast. So pretty nice looking fish. A little bit of a dorsal there. I'm gonna get him back in the water. Still quite small. I'm looking for much bigger, but definitely cool. That's probably 5 now. This guy's the biggest, but still having fun. So we'll get him back in the water and we'll keep trying with this lure because that was first cast. All right, there he goes. He's gone. So that was pretty cool. Now the thing with this lure, it weighs quite a bit more than the rest that I've been using. First cast, this thing went way out there, and it's quite a quick retrieve because it dunks down, and it's got this little spinner kind of deal on the tail, and it just cranks and it vibrates. Like you can feel it vibrating through the rod as you're reeling it in. First cast, hammered it. Let's give it a go again, and let's see what happens with it. That thing's got a ton of drag. Feel it vibrating and spinning. All right, guys, so we got another one on the same chartreuse lure. This guy's a little bit bigger than the last one, not by much, still quite a small fish. Got him right behind the tongue. Let's try and get this out of here. They're liking this lure. I've been retrieving it a bunch of times now, and I've had a lot of hits. And this guy, he grabbed a hold of it, and we got him. So, still quite small. I would like something much bigger than this, if I can get one. Got that hook jammed right under his lip. I want to get this guy free, let him go, and I'm going to move down a little bit. There's a nice rock where I can get up on top and actually see down on the water and cast out much farther. So I'm going to give that a go over there once I get this guy back in the water. And it's starting to get quite dark out, or quite late. It's coming on 7 o'clock now. There he goes. Not even bleeding, so he's still good. But yeah, like I said, I want to get this guy back in the water, and I'm going to move down on top of that rock and try from there, because I can get a further cast and I can see a little bit deeper. So we'll get this little guy back in the water. Woo, there he goes. All right, slippery rock. Ooh. All right, I'm going to move over, same lure, going to cast it out, quick retrieves this time, and see if we can get bigger and bigger fish. All right, got one on. a little guy. He felt much bigger than that, but he's not. All right, so that's another little yellow perch. This lake's full of yellow perch, I'm telling you. I don't know what the stocking chart was talking about trout, and they're being bass in here because all I'm getting is these little yellow perch. Oh, there he goes. All right, I'm gonna grab this guy, get him back in the water, get him out of these leaves. Got him, going back in the water. Whoo, I want to get a big one, come on. Whoo. All right, guys, that wasn't bad at all. I actually enjoyed fishing today. It's really rare that I enjoy fishing unless I'm out in a boat, kayaking, or if I'm fly fishing a nice still water or a stream. Being completely swarmed by bugs right now, really bad. I just came back into camp, so they just followed me from the woods. But yeah, now well, not now, I've been starving for a long time, but now I'm gonna actually fix that problem and I'm gonna cook something. Like I said, it is gonna get dark soon, so I'm probably gonna take my other fishing rod with the float and I'm gonna toss it out with some power bait on a hook and let it just sit there. I'm probably gonna do that after, and I'm just gonna sit over by that fire pit. No fire, like I was saying, but I'm just gonna sit near the fire pit and watch the float and have my mosquito coils on the rocks and just sit back and have a couple beer and a few snacks and just watch that float. And if it goes below, I'll jump up, see if we got a fish. If not, I still got a movie to watch, so it's still gonna be a good night. I'm really hoping that it pours with rain. I'm really hoping it rains. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of people don't want it to rain when they go camping. I've been looking forward to rain. When I left my house this morning, I already said this earlier in the video, it was pouring. It was absolutely pouring, and I was looking forward to it. And I got out here driving, and the rain stopped, and I was kind of bummed out, to be honest. I really wanted to be out here in the pouring rain. But hopefully tonight, the sky is still super gray. Hopefully tonight it'll bring in a little bit of rain, and I'm definitely prepared for it with large tarp and a lot of airflow with this mesh tent as well. So if we get some rain, that'd be great. If not, next time, you know, there's always next time. So with summer coming, hopefully I can get out here and do an overnighter in a thunderstorm. That would be epic. That would be awesome. I love thunder and lightning, and being out in thunder and lightning way out in the backcountry by yourself with nobody else around. If you guys haven't done that, try it. It is absolutely life-changing. Really awesome. Be out on the edge of a lake, nobody there. The water's completely still, and you can just the cracking of the thunder and the flash of the lightning. Awesome, awesome feeling. So I'm hoping that happens this summer. If I can get out, all the stars kind of align. I have a day off work, I'm out, it's cloudy, rainy, thunder, lightning. If everything comes together, that would be awesome. But right now, I need to eat. I'm gonna get my mosquito coils kind of situated a little bit closer, I think. I'm going to finish up this IPA, and I'm gonna get my cook set up here. I'm gonna make some ramen. I brought some basic ramen. Love ramen. So that's what I'm gonna do. I wanna make my ramen. I have chips and a whole bunch of snacks for later on. And anyways, I need to eat. My brain's kind of going crazy here. I haven't eaten a lot of food today, and I need it. So let's get cooking. Okay guys, I'm all done with supper. All my dishes are cleaned up and everything's put away. All that stuff is done for the evening. I just want to talk about what I got going on right here for a second. I have a bunch of mosquito coils out of my truck, and I've gone ahead and broken them up into about 2-inch pieces and loaded them inside of this beer can. So what I've done in the can is I punched a whole bunch of, well, probably about 15 holes or so in the bottom of the can with my knife, and placed them inside of there. So now they're all smoking. I'm going to go ahead and add a few more pieces down inside of the can, and once the embers, kind of get them situated in there, once the ember from the piece that's lit touches another piece, it'll continue that burn around the adjacent piece of mosquito coil. So this is a really, really good way to make one mosquito smoker. I had the 2 coils on either side. It's double the risk of ember falling and lighting all this stuff on fire. The wind blows this way, that way, all that stuff. So to get one really good smoker out of your beer can, and it'll take about 15 minutes to really get going. Once the ember reaches the piece next to it and it really starts taking off, these things will pump smoke like crazy. So this is not the healthiest stuff to breathe in either. I should mention that. Place it somewhere where it's going to be around you, but it's not going to be directly in your face breathing it in. Not really the healthiest thing. So just want to mention that because I'm probably going to get asked, what's the smoking can? And I've done this before. I've done this many times. It's just a method that works. You just got to be careful stacking the pieces to make sure that, like I said, that hot ember is going to burn into another piece to ignite that piece. Otherwise, you're just going to put them in there and it's not going to do anything. So I'm going to let that catch, let it smoke for a little while, and I'll be able to sip on a beer. And I'm going to get my float tossed out into the water with the power bait, drag my chair over there, and sit back and relax. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It is morning time, and I gotta say, I had an awesome night last night. As you can hear right now, the birds are out full swing, singing, bouncing into the treetops. Man, this place is remote. It is a long ways back here. So last night, I heard owls, I heard loons, I heard coyotes, I heard all kinds of noises in the forest. It was awesome. I was laying right here inside of the tent. I left the top open and I had a nice cool breeze coming through. I could see the moon, which was cool. I could actually see the moon off this way underneath the tarp, which was awesome. Just all in all, a really, really good night, really comfortable, super warm. So right now I've been up for a little while. I've had 2 shots, well, double shot, but double shot in these is like 4 shots. But had a double shot out of the mocha pot, which is really, really good in the morning. Really good. If you guys are coffee guys or coffee girls, if you girls or guys, I should say, like your coffee strong, go ahead and pick yourself up a mocha pot and do a mocha shot. Really good, super strong coffee. Awesome. So now I'm gonna cook up my oatmeal. I brought 3 packs of oatmeal. I'm gonna do them up in my titanium pot. I do have some peanut butter, which I'm gonna add to that, which is kind of my new thing lately. Awesome, really, really good. Add a little bit of coffee. That's the trick. If you could do 3 packs of oatmeal, I've got 1 regular, 2 maple and brown sugar. So 2 of these guys, 1 regular, a big old spoonful of peanut butter, add that in there, and then add a tiny, tiny bit of coffee just to loosen it up and make it a little bit soupy. Oh my God. Trust me. You get coffee, you get peanut butter, you get the maple, the brown sugar. Oh man. Oh man. I gotta eat. That's what I'm doing. So let's get breakfast and let's go back over and do a little bit more fishing. Okay, got the water on. That's gonna come to a slight boil, just before boil. I don't really need it that hot. So talking about oatmeal and how I came to add the coffee to it, because I know that sounds a little wild. I'm putting peanut butter in my 2 different flavors of oatmeal and then a little bit of coffee. I'll explain that. So I was out camping probably, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, and I made my oatmeal and it was in the pot and I was setting up the camera, getting different angles and different shots. And by the time I sat down, my oatmeal went really thick and it was kind of nasty. So my cup of coffee was sitting right there. I kind of looked at it and I was like, they can't make it worse, right? So I put a little bit of coffee in there. Awesome. It was really good. Dark coffee, bold flavor, peanut butter. It was creamy. It was awesome. Really, really good. So now, having said that, I'm very interested to hear from you guys how you like your oatmeal in the morning while you're out camping or hiking or backpacking. Wherever you are outdoors, how do you like to make your oatmeal? I got to hear it because I'm really interested. Coffee and peanut butter sounds a little strange. I'm interested to hear what you guys do. So I'm gonna eat my oatmeal, my strange concoction of oatmeal and peanut butter and coffee, and the lake is still looking really nice and flat. I'm gonna try fishing a little bit. I'm not gonna go too crazy with it, but it is morning and you might as well, right? So toss the lure in there a few times and see if we can come up with anything, and then it's going to be pack up camp after a little bit of relaxation, and yeah, we'll take it all in and water's ready. So let's just have oatmeal and we'll talk later. All right, guys, just before I head off and go fishing, I want to show you guys my system, because lately I've been getting asked a lot on the channel, being asked questions of what kit do I use. And I don't do any gear lists or anything like that, but I will share on this trip what I brought with me. So starting off, everything was inside of this tiny little pack. I don't remember the name of this pack. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check, and I don't have a review on it yet. I honestly, I'm gonna have to check my Amazon cart and find out what it was. I know that it went on sale over Christmas for $15. Now it's up to like 50. So I picked it up for 15 bucks. I got it for my son. Today I wanted to use it. Tiny little pack, works really great. So everything that I got here, except for my wool sweater. My wool sweater was already in my truck. Water bottle was in the truck. And the chair and the fishing rods, that was not inside of here. But everything else was inside of this pack, and I still had extra room. That includes my table, my cookware, my sleeping pad, my top quilt, tent, tarp. Everything was inside of this pack. And I believe it came in at about 10.4 or 10.6 pounds. Very, very, very small and light, okay? That's a lot of gear. I mean, I've got my cup, my pot, my spoon, fork, my table, my filming gear. I should mention that, my filming gear. I've got my RAV Power massive battery bank, and this thing's got to weigh like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds by itself. So all my kit was inside of this pack, plus the massive fire steel as well. So what I've got inside, start inside and I'll move outside. What I've got for a pad, I went with my Climate Static V insulated pad, orange. And for top quilt, I went with my One Tigress, or also known as Black Orca, goose down top quilt. I was extremely warm last night, very, very warm. No issues last night. I used my sweater as a pillow. So for the tent, this is the One Tigress Fortifly. This is just the inner. I went with a different tarp because I was expecting a lot of rainfall, and I wanted to have a really big vestibule area. We didn't get the rain, so I didn't really need it, but this is the One Tigress Fortifly inner, and then the tarp is an East Hills Outdoors Dragonfly, I believe it's called. So if you jump on my gear review and, excuse me, my gear review and testing playlist, you'll see the review for the top quilt, the tent, the tarp. I don't have one on the pads yet because I actually have a few more static pads, including one that they sent me. So I'm going to go and do a full review on the pads and the differences. But yeah, I just wanted to run through that really quick and show you guys that everything was inside this small little pack. I use my truck just for transportation. And like I said, I did transport the fishing rods and a couple things like that. But generally when I go, I put everything in a pack, and the truck is just a tool to get to the location. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pack everything up, and that way I can kind of leisurely fish. And then when the bugs start getting too bad attacking me, I could just jump in the truck and get out of here instead of packing up then, because it's really aggravating trying to pack up when you get a billion mosquitoes biting you. So I hope that helps you. If you guys do have any questions on the gear, go ahead and ask me, drop it down in the comment section, and I'll try and help you out the best that I can. So like I said, I'm going to pack up. I'm going to get all this put into my pack, and then I'll show you guys the pack after I'm done. Actually, I'll go ahead, pack up, I'll show you the pack, and then we'll get it in the truck, and then I'll do some fishing. Let's do that. All right, guys, so here you can see I've got the pack all packed up. I'm covered in dirt now. Packing that tent inside of the stuff sack was fun. All the pine needles and stuff. So as you can see, the bugs are getting a little out of hand, and this is what I was talking about on one of the pack before they started coming out. I just want to say the trick, oh, excuse me, bug. The trick to getting everything inside of a small pack like this, what I do is I take my down bag or my top quilt, whatever I'm using for my insulation, or even under quilt, don't put it in the stuff sack. So leave it out of the stuff sack, put everything else in your pack, and then take that down top quilt or sleeping bag and jam it in and let it fill all the open areas, okay? That's how I get everything in here, and it fits nicely, and then once I zip it up, that down will expand and it'll give it a nice round form factor, really nice. So that's what I do. And double up on your pots too, like put your cup inside your pot, your whatever inside of whatever you can, right? So that's what I got going on. Now I am going to let you guys go because these bugs are getting ridiculously crazy, and I really do want to hike up the lake and try fishing for a little bit, and that's going to be really difficult with the camera and with the tripod. So I say peace out to you guys, and I do really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me on these trips and these overnighters. It's really fun to have someone to talk to, even though it's a camera. I feel like I'm kind of talking to all of you guys. It probably looks like I'm talking to myself and I'm half crazy in the woods, but anyways, that's the plan. I'm going to go fish. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, and then I'm going to probably go nuts because these flies, and then I want to go home. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.